All right, today we're jumping into a really powerful tale of faith and courage, one that comes from the folk traditions of Rajasthan and Haryana. And this is more than just a story, it's a legend that shows you what a community truly values in a hero. This is the story of Sabar Singh, the great hero of Goga Ji.
This line, it's pretty much the heart of our entire story. It's a statement of absolute, unbreakable faith. It's this idea that belief is so strong it can conquer any danger, any poison, and we're about to see just how powerful that conviction really is.
So let's set the scene. Our journey starts in a small village called Raipura, right on the border of Rajasthan and Haryana. And it's here that we meet our hero, a young boy named Sabar Singh, and his mother, Dhanpal Kaur. Now they're from a simple family, but trust me, Sabar Singh is destined for a life that is anything but simple.
So, what was this kid like? Well, these are the things that really lay the groundwork for everything that's about to happen. His family had this long, deep history of devotion to the warrior saint Goga Ji, who's also known as Jaharveer. And it's like Sabar Singh was born with that legacy inside him. He had this incredible courage, and a faith so strong that even as a little kid, the villagers noticed. They'd say stuff like, "This child has a special grace from the saint."
Every hero has that one moment that first sets them apart. For Sabar Singh, that moment came really early, and it was the first big sign of the extraordinary path he was on. And get this, he was only 12 years old. Just a kid, really. But at this super young age, he was about to face a crisis that sent the entire village into a total panic.
Just try to picture it. Total chaos, fear, grown-ups running for their lives because a snake has appeared in the village. But while everyone else is terrified, little Sabar Singh just calmly steps forward. He's not afraid at all. Instead, he just starts chanting the name of Goga Ji.
And there it is again. He actually spoke that powerful belief out loud, facing down this real danger with absolutely nothing but his faith. I mean, what an incredible display of conviction from someone so young. It showed everyone that his belief wasn't just something he was taught, it was a deep, fundamental part of who he was.
And guess what? It worked. The snake, as if it was totally soothed by his faith, just turned around and slithered back into the forest. This was a huge deal. From that day on, the villagers didn't just see a boy anymore. They started calling him Goga Ji's hero.
So years pass. Sabar Singh grows up, and his reputation for being pious and brave just keeps growing with him. But you know how these stories go. A great test was coming, not just for him, but for his entire village. A very dark shadow was about to fall.
The source of this shadow, this terror, was a man named Goga Ji. And this guy was the real deal. A ruthless bandit, infamous for his cruelty, spreading fear everywhere he and his gang went. He was the scourge of the whole region.
And Goga Ji's cruelty was cold and calculated. He didn't just plan a random raid. No, he specifically chose to attack during Goga Navami, which is this huge annual festival celebrating Goga Ji. His plan was to hit them at their most sacred moment, to turn their biggest celebration into their worst nightmare. When news of Goga Ji's plan hit Raipura, you can just imagine the terror. The villagers were completely panicked. Their prayers became desperate cries. "Oh Goga Ji, someone save us." And in that moment of absolute crisis, every single eye in the village turned to one person, Sabar Singh.
This was it. This was the moment Sabar Singh was born for. The people were looking to him for a glimmer of hope, and he was not going to let them down. But here's the thing. He wouldn't have to face this threat alone. His entire life of faith was about to be answered in the most incredible way possible.
Sabar Singh went right before the idol of Goga Ji, and he made this solemn vow. This wasn't just him asking for help, it was a pledge. He was putting his life, his faith, everything on the line, vowing that as a true devotee, no harm would come to his people. And then something miraculous happened. From the deep, quiet part of the temple, this faint, almost impossible sound was heard, the jingle of anklets. Now to the devotees, this wasn't just any sound, it was a sign. It was confirmation from Goga Ji himself that the prayer was heard and it was accepted.
But the divine help didn't stop there. Oh no. The night before the attack, Sabar Singh meets this glowing, divine figure on a white horse out in the forest. This being gives him a weapon, the Nagbala, the serpent spear, and calls it a gift from Jaharveer. And then poof, the figure vanishes. Sabar Singh knew right then.
Goga Ji himself had just given him the tool he needed for victory. So on the morning of Goga Navami, Daka Daku and his men storm the village. Daka roars this direct challenge to their faith, right? Threatening to kill anyone who even dares to raise Goga's flag. And in response, Sabar Singh, now armed with the divine serpent spear, steps forward with his own powerful declaration. The lines were drawn. The stage was set.
The battle that happened next was legendary. With every single move, Sabar Singh's serpent spear seemed to glow with this divine light. He wasn't just fighting with his own strength. You could feel the power of Goga Ji flowing right through him. He took down the bandits one by one, until finally he cornered their leader, Daka Daku, and ended his reign of terror for good.
Brought to his knees, Daka Daku looks up at Sabar Singh, not with anger, but with total awe and fear. He knew he hadn't just been beaten by some guy. His words of surrender basically confirmed what everyone was already thinking. This wasn't a human victory, this was a divine one.
So the threat is gone, the village is safe, and a legend has officially been born. But the story doesn't just end with the battle. The real impact of what Sabar Singh did is how it was remembered, how it became this immortal tale.
The celebration in Raipura was like nothing they'd ever seen before. People weren't just celebrating a victory over some bandits, they were celebrating a full-blown miracle. In their eyes, Goga Ji had personally come down and saved them, taking the form of their beloved hero, Sabar Singh, to do it.
And to make sure that this incredible story of courage and faith would never, ever be forgotten, the villagers built a monument. Right outside the village, they built a Veer Shatri, a hero's cenotaph, a physical, lasting reminder of the man who stood up for them when all hope seemed lost.
And on that monument, they carved these words, the final testament to his legacy. This inscription perfectly captures the core lesson of this entire folktale, something passed down for generations, that a hero isn't defined just by their strength, but by their devotion. And that unwavering faith is the ultimate shield,